there, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Tina from TinaHills.com, and if you have Mars in dreamy Pisces, then this is your video. So Mars is a nocturnal planet and Mars is fiery. Its color is red. The day ruled by Mars is Tuesday, and the first and the eighth astrological hours are attributed to Mars. That is the time to invoke the Martian magic in your life. Mars is our action principle. It is why we wake up in the morning and do whatever we do. It is the masculine. It is action oriented. It is the principle of action. Okay, and it rules Aries and Scorpio and is in detriment in signs ruled by Venus, Taurus and Libra. Is exalted in Capricorn, especially the 28th degree, and is in fall in Cancer, especially the 28th degree. Now it rules the Pisces triplicity, so you're lucky if you're in the third decan, that is 21 to 30 degrees of Pisces. If you have your Mars there, then your Mars is ruled by Mars, and you're going to be more Martian than the normal Pisces and Mars people. Okay, so 21 to 30 degrees of Pisces, because Mars rules the water triplicity. Okay, now a few keywords of Mars and how we put it in context to mutable watery Pisces ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. So Pisces is actually a very profound energy, because when we look at Pisces, we have to see that Pisces is ultimately about unification, like Venus. And Mars is the exact opposite, separation. In fact, when we look at how the skies are positioned and exaltation and rulership, we see that Mars is always his rulership is always positioned opposite Venus. So the antidote to Martian expansion, aggression, conquest is the Venusian principles of love, beauty and harmony and uniting. They say Venus gives, Mars takes. So when Venus gives, Mars takes. So this dichotomy, Mars is the ruler of Aries, and Aries is about me. So Mars is in detriment in Libra, because Libra is about we, right? So when we think of Jupiter ruled Pisces, we think of cinema, we think of ballet dancers, male ballet dancers with Mars and Pisces. We see, think of just dancers, hip-hop musicians. Pisces rules music, celluloid. So, people definitely interested in the fantastic and storytelling, because, Jupiter is a myth maker. So there is this myth-making ability to Mars in Pisces, and more intensely, because this is, don't forget, Pisces is also a sign where Venus is exalted. And the Mars aggressions and antithesis is Venus's love, and the Pisces is where Venus is exalted and feels love. So this is and Mars is also strong in his own way, because he rules the water triplicity. So there's this very powerful male-female play of energies with Mars and Pisces. And Pisces deals with seclusion, deals with, mental asylums, addictions, escapism, incarceration. So, Mars could be going through these motifs, because, Mars is about the action principle. So it's moving towards this Piscean duality. Now we have to get into understanding a bit about water before we jump straight to more in-depth Pisces and Mars. So we have to realize that water basically retains memory. And when we think of the waters, we think of the waters of the womb. And the womb sort of connects us to this non-verbal zone before we even had a speech, which was only a place of emotions, a place of feeling. So that is where water connects us, and this is a very emotional vibe that Mars feels off in this mutable water sign ruled by Jupiter, because he's now dawning the person of Jupiter, and Jupiter expands and Mars's heart is expanding. And Pisces rules the feet, so Mars could be going ahead and walking and jogging and trekking and walking for world peace or conservation, or something like that, Forrest Gump, some archetype like that. And water also is a medium where reflection happens. So Mars in Pisces is very introspective. It is an energy that is inwards, yin, because Pisces is yin. So Mars here becomes more yin, more it mimics our emotions, because Pisces is hyper emotional, very sensitive to what is going on. Very, very Pisces is, a place where we see spirits and, demons and angels and bodhisattvas. So this is a sign of the bodhisattva. So Mars can seek towards spiritual enlightenment and mysticism, as well as become an addict, because Pisces rules addiction. If you think of the glyph of Pisces, the two fish strung together, moving in opposite directions, but they are chained together. So this displays the dichotomy of Pisces, this the world of matter and the world of spirit being chained together, and we are like the fish, in our duality swimming away. So Mars here mimics these emotional fragmentation. There's a tortured soul, a fractured soul expression with Pisces. That's why Mars here can be the actor. Pisces understands every single sign, because it's an empath. It mimics all these other attributes. So it knows all the 11 signs. So it can be anyone. Oftentimes Pisces is called the dumping ground. So Mars has a lot to pick and choose from here. If you give this fiery energy that cuts and burns, because at the end of the day, you have to understand Mars is not an easy energy to assimilate and tends to excesses, whereas the benefics tend towards moderation. And Buddha taught about moderation in the beautiful age of Pisces, age of Taurus, Venusian age of Taurus, the middle path. So Mars aggression is only, nullified by Venus's unification principle. And Pisces is definitely all-encompassing unification, where boundaries dissolve, where the soul longs to go back to its source code, where it craves for the truth. It is the bodhisattva. Its heart is full of compassion. The soul is full of compassion and wants not nirvana for itself, but wants it for everybody. So Mars, a well-balanced Mars here, is a spiritual warrior. He could be doing the haka, or he could be doing a tribal dance or whatever. And I see Mars and Pisces is very kinetic, very movement oriented, but very soft, and ballet and like Tai Chi and stuff like that is very Mars in Pisces. Yoga as well, because yoga is ultimately the fundamental crux from where all this comes about, and martial arts for sure. Yes, with Mars and Aries, you have that, just fire that you want to burn. But with Mars and Pisces, there's an artistry behind your movement. Your feet are beautiful. But your feet could, of course, suffer from certain illnesses, because we have to understand that Mars rules certain anatomy and certain illnesses. It rules the gallbladder, the left ear. It rules tertiary fevers, pestilence, yellow jaundice, plague sores, migraine, acne, carbuncle, ringworm, wounds, all types of men's erectile dysfunctions. Okay, so all of that. And Pisces rules the feet and the melatonin that also controls our sleep cycle. So Mars here can takes to extremes, so can make it excessively dry and very difficult, our sleep cycles. We can have troubled dreams of burning and stuff like that. that's going into past life regression. All of this stuff just comes out, you know, stuff you work with in the natal chart. You realize that with past life regression. And anytime basically excessive Mars in the body shows up as pitta imbalance. Okay, so you can have body odor, mouth odor, you know, acne and stuff like that. Now, Pisces is definitely about dissolving any boundaries. So here again, um, you know, Mars wears the Jupiterian mask of the persona, and he is ready to basically understand that there are no dualities, there are no polarities, and the walk is now towards source code from where we came. So that is a very precious experience that Mars can have, almost mystical, like the dervishes that swing around and swing around and going round and round. They realize the unity of all things, that all things are one, and they breathe with the one, and you know, the breath synchronizes and all of that beautiful stuff. Very emotional and intuitive and psychic. So, you know, looking into the mystical side of life, angels and demons and all of that, jinns and all of that, Mars and Pisces. But here Mars is not, because you know, this is Venus rules. I mean, Venus is exalted and this is ruled by Jupiter, the greater benefic. So here Mars is almost like forced, but you can't suppress a force Mars. So maybe force is not the correct word to use, but Mars has sort of been shown a new reality, because Pisces is about other realms, parallel worlds, the multiverses, and Mars being chained to this world and our impulses and our actions and our compulsive behavior, pathological behavior, psychotic behavior. Mars is almost like, you know, not sure of what he sees yet in Pisces, and he's ready to discover with his intuition, okay, with his without becoming too overwhelmed. He wants to heal without having a messiah complex. He wants to serve. Okay, this could be a very well balanced Mars in Pisces, which is very possible, because especially the decan 3 of Pisces is your Mars is more Martian. He's a pioneer, and he is a future thinker, you know. But the key to this is taking time out to develop that Tai Chi or Reiki or breath work or dancing, or you know, all of that. You have to spend time away from just Martian craziness, because you know, that can totally drive you crazy. Remember that Mars was connected to the fifth Sephiroth, Gevura, and the Pythagoreans called the number 5 the nemesis. So Mars can truly become a nemesis in your own life if you don't know how to use this Mars, because it is so creative, so imaginal, so connected to the imaginal plane, to other dimensions, that it cannot make sense of reality. So you have to feed it fiction, you have to feed this Mars, you know, give this Mars a surreal, otherworldly quest, without which it is not going to be happy. You know, it needs that other world. In Jupiter is always larger than life, so Mars is always looking to be larger than life here, you know, and not in a showy way, because Pisces, all the work Pisces does is behind the scenes. So although Mars is a very forceful, in front of you, in front of your face energy, Mars in Pisces becomes more introverted and more behind the scenes. Even if they are really big celebrities and they have like a hugely successful career, they can be quite private. They can be quite private because they need that time to recuperate. Or they can be quite, you know, emotionally soft and compassionate. So that is a very well-balanced Mars in Pisces, thoughtful, dreamy, you know, and they could be walking away from something. I think of the 8 of Cups, and I think of that figure walking away into the unknown, leaving all those cups behind. So there could be renunciation with Mars and Pisces, and the walking away towards truth. So that is also very possible, because Jesus Christ came in the age of Pisces. So that was his compassion, his love, his sacrifice. All of this heralded this era of love and peace. It didn't stay the way he intended, of course, and that is again the Piscean delusion, escapism, addiction that we've been fed. So drop me a comment, like please, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you know every time I upload, and book a reading, and check out my merch. Thank you.